Welcome to this published author show. My name is Kenneth Muyingo, and with me I have a special guest that I will be interviewing. First, I just want to mention, if you watch this interview and you would like to write a book yourself, to become an author and write your first book, there's a link with this interview for you to join the group, become an author and write your first book, to connect with like-minded people who are doing the same. With that said, I would like to get into the interview by asking my guest to say hello to our viewers and listeners and to introduce himself.
Hello, everyone out there in the poetry world. My name is Khary Tolliver. I'm a published author. I just released my sixth book last year, December. So I'm on my sixth book. When I first started writing, I never thought I'd get past the first book. I'm doing this book and that's it. And now I'm on book number 6. So it's been a great journey.
Amazing. 6 books.
Yes.
Congratulations, Khary.
Thank you.
If somebody is watching
Yes.
this interview and they would like to know more about you, what can you share with them?
Well, one, I'm a simple guy. I do more than just poetry. I've done some TV work. I've been in commercials in the local area of I live in Maryland. So here in the States, I've been background actors in some movies that have been on HBO. I'm the background guy or the camera guy. I'm the extra. I'm never a star, but I'm the extra. And I've done some commercial work, again, for the state of Maryland, local stuff. And I started writing poetry in high school. It was an assignment from my English teacher. And first thing I thought, do a poem journal. She's trying to hold us back. You know, I didn't like the assignment, so I had to go to her to get more information. And she explained what she wanted, like just write about life, whatever you want, but keep a journal of it. And so I did. And once I got started, I never stopped. And I still write to this day. And so I've been writing since like 1990.
Wow. That's amazing. And
Yeah.
you say it so humbly. You've been on television, you've done some movies. That's some
Yeah, but
huge
like
stuff.
I'm no star though. No, I mean, yeah, no star at all.
I understand exactly what you mean. And but that's really good stuff. And you mentioned also that you have a son. And
yeah, I have a son that's 23 years old. He's going to be 23 here in April. Time flies,
that's
man.
amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's some great stuff. It's quite a profile you have, and then 6 books on top of that. So you mentioned
when
about
I
your
wrote
teacher.
the first.
Yes?
I'm sorry?
You mentioned about your teacher that gave you an English exercise to write a poem.
Yes.
And you never stopped writing since then.
Never stop. I mean, throughout the years, you know how they say you have writer's block? I've experienced that. There's been a time where I might not have written for almost a year. And then when it comes, it comes. Yeah. Because in the beginning, I was writing about everything, life, my family, God, everything. And then I was writing about love too. But I noticed when I did the first book, I think I had a few love poems in there, but it was mostly about life. You know, it was kind of a dark book for some reason. But I noticed I was getting compliments on the love poems. And so when I did my second book, I put a few more love poems in there and other things about God and life and my son. I wrote about my son as well. But I was always getting questioned on the love poems. So my third book, you know, I did a whole book because I got a lot of love poems. So I just filled it full of love poems. And so I've been, again, the last 4 books have been about love, and people like love. And I'm a lover boy. You know, I'm that dude. I can be with one woman for the rest of my life. I can do that. Of course, I've had some relationships that didn't work out, but I'm a lover boy. I can, you know, I think it's a beautiful thing. Love is a beautiful thing. So.
Indeed. Wow, that's amazing.
That's why I like writing about it.
So your third book is about love. Love poems, basically. All about love.
Yeah, from my third book to this last book, all love, a lot of love.
Awesome stuff. And when did you publish the first book?
Oh man, the first book.
It's been a long while.
Maybe, yeah, 2006, maybe, or 2007. I'm not sure, but it's been a long time.
I see. And you mentioned about your English teacher that gave you this assignment about the poems. would you say that this is the thing that inspired you to start writing, or would you point to any other life event in your life that inspired you to keep writing?
She started me, and then life inspired me to keep writing, because I would write about, I have family that's in the military, so I would write about the war, who keeps the score when we fight a war. And so I was writing, I was basically doing what she told me to do. You write about what's going on, and that's what I was doing. I was putting it into poetry.
Yeah.
And some people, because I have some poems, well, most of my poems are kind of long, because again, I'm writing as I'm writing in my poem journal. So that's how I write. And so even my love poems, some of them are lengthy, because I'm putting a lot of feeling into these poems. That's why they're kind of lengthy. So, but I take passion in it. You know what I mean? I really love what I write, love what I do. But when I talk about my family and life things, I mean, I'm passionate about that too. So again, why are your poems so long? Because I put a lot of feeling into it, whether it be love or not love. I'm putting a lot of feeling into this. So that I'm sorry, that it's a long poem. So read one a day, you know what I mean? Read one poem a day.
Yeah.
So, because most poems are they might be 3 short paragraphs, mine sometimes is 6 or 7.
Yeah. Great stuff.
That's the feeling. Yeah.
That's the feeling, indeed. And 6 books, man. Congratulations. That's really huge.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
thank you.
Which one of these is your favorite, would you say?
I've been getting that question lately. I want to say my last 2. The last 2.
What are the titles?
So Much Love and Expressions of Love.
So Much Love and Expressions of Love.
Yes.
Wow.
Those 2 I love those 2, man. I don't know. Those are the last 2 are my favorite.
I see.
The other ones are good too. A lot of love in them too, but something about those last 2, I really like what I was writing. I mean, I don't know.
Wow, that's really good. Thank you so much. And
yes.
So Much Love and Expressions of Love. And this is
yes.
number 5, number 6, or is it?
Yes, number 5 and 6. This is not So Much Love is number 5. Yeah. And the last one I just came out with, Expressions of Love.
Number 6.
And
wow.
And how titles of poems come to me, some of these poems it's not all me. Of course, I'm being creative, but it's also thoughts, and I might see someone else, another couple that I think is a beautiful couple, and the love that they share. So sometimes I can write about someone else's love or things that I wish I had in a relationship. So I write about things I may be missing, or it's a combination of things. Sometimes poems come to me, I could be listening to a song, like Expressions of Love was a line in a song that I was listening to on the radio. I forgot the name of the song and the artist, but he said something about expressions of love, your expressions of love. And I took that and I wrote a poem about it. So sometimes poems come to me, I could be listening to someone or a song. It could be one word, and I can take that one word and just write a whole poem about it.
Awesome. So what I'm hearing is you don't struggle for ideas. They're all around you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I sometimes talk to people who are writing books and they say they struggle with ideas. What can you share with them, knowing what you know about how you do it?
When you find it, even, let me see, I might have come across times where I thought I was struggling. I just stopped because I don't want to, and I've done that before too. I want to continue writing, but it's when you try so hard, stop, because it doesn't make sense. I've written so many, I have almost 2,000 poems written, but I might have thrown away maybe 500 or more.
Wow.
Sometimes I can write a bunch of poems because I'm squeezing it out.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to really force anything out. It should come naturally, because when I was younger, poems used to just flow out of my mind and my hand. I could be up all night long writing. Yeah. So when you have to force something out, stop and just walk away and maybe come back. Because sometimes I can write a title down or start writing, and then once I come to a stop, and when I find myself trying too hard, I have to stop and just come back to it later. There's some poems I've written this year that I might have started last year, and I come back to it and I can finish it. It's crazy, but how I write now at this age now, it's crazy. Again, when I was younger, like nothing. I could be driving, I got to pull over at this stoplight or something, and I'm writing, or I can wake up in the middle of the night and write. But now I need my sleep.
Yeah.
So if I'm thinking about something at night, it's going to have to wait, or I just forget about it. But I just used to have that fire in me when I was younger, writing these books. But this past couple of years, I've been not a lazy writer, but if something comes to me and I don't have nothing to write it down, I just don't write it down, but things come to me sometimes. Like there'll be times where, again, I write nothing and then something just comes, man. My heart just starts talking.
Awesome. Somebody told me something on another interview I had with them, that the books that most change your life are the ones that you write yourself. Would you relate to this, that the books you've written have helped you change in some ways in your own personal life?
I would say yes, because sometimes I go back and I read some things I've written. Sometimes I like, I guess I'm kind of a romantic, I guess you could say, so I try to stay true to myself. I try to stay that guy, or the things I write about that's not about love, that's just about my family and God and all that. I try to be that guy because I am that guy. It's like, it helps me keep on track. When I go back and read old things, it keeps me on track.
Indeed. Wow, that's great. And so looking at life right now, maybe this is a bit of the topic of writing, but looking at life in general, where we find ourselves as the human race, stuck in our houses. People have more questions than answers.
Yeah.
And the journey that you've been on, what can you share with somebody who feels like things are unfair the way they are playing out right now?
Well, one, I would say just stay connected to God. I know everybody doesn't believe in, God, but I try to stay connected to God, and all of this will be worked out. I mean, me being stuck in a house got book number 6 out, and I was told, when I was told to be working from home, I'm working, but I'm also writing too. So it helped me squeeze out another book, but things are going to get back to normal again. We don't know when, we never know God's plan, but they will be normal again. But I haven't been worried about it. I don't want to get this virus. I've been trying to stay safe, being my girlfriend and family, but don't get too stressed out about it. Just be safe, but no, I've been getting through, I've been getting by.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's great advice.
Yes.
And 6 books, Khary, that's amazing. If somebody's watching this and they would like to write their first one, what can you share with them, knowing what you know 6 books later?
Oh, yes. Have something to share for sure. When I did my first book, again, I didn't know what I was doing. I was writing in notepads and they were building up around the house. And my mother was the one who said, you should do a book or something. You got so many pads, you should write a book. And so I did. I just pulled up a bunch of poems that I already had written, and I did my first book. But going into it, they're all self-published. So I didn't go to a big publisher, because also with that, you pay a lot of money. When you go to big publishers, you pay out a lot. So I went to a self-publishing company, but the thing I learned from, I won't give their name out, but it taught me a lesson, because it was a bad deal that I did. The more you do, the more you get, because they said they were going to edit the book. I sent them pictures that I wanted. They altered the pictures. They did me wrong, but the book came out unedited. So my first book has a lot of errors in it. I can only do so much. I go back to typing on a typewriter. So I was doing that, and I just gave them the papers. So that's how long ago it was. But they did not edit anything. The picture of the book I didn't really like. It came out okay, but I had no control. And then when I went to find another self-publishing company, it was much more better. I learned that if you could find your own editor, you could take your own pictures, You can find a graphic artist designer. You can get a copy written yourself, because the first company said, we're going to copyright this for you or something like that. But they were the owners of my work.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't the copyright, it copywritten for that company. So I was like, wow. So I learned a lot. So you can go online and get your things copywritten. Again, you could find, if you know, give it to them, for me, a art designer, and the specs that the publishing company wants in. You can do all that yourself, and then when you turn it in, there's nothing for them to do but to put it out on Amazon. So when I turn something in, they don't need to do nothing. The barcode, ISBN number, you can do all those things yourself. And so that's what I learned. And again, you get more money that way, because if you just turn something in and that company has to do everything, you're going to get less. And so I learned to do more so I can get more. So that's what I learned. But it can be done. Anyone can do a book. Anyone.
Very nice. Thank you so much. And this was really inspiring. Thank you so much, Khary, for making time for it. If somebody's watching this interview and they would like to buy your books, where can they get them?
Amazon. I don't have my own page where, I have a Facebook page where people can go to click on the links to go to the Amazon link there, but they're on Amazon. If you go Amazon Books and put in my name, Khary Tolliver, KHARY TOLLIVER, all 6 books will come up. The first one is not being sold anymore because they wanted, again, it was a bad deal, and so they took it off the shelf, but it still shows up. But the rest of the books are there, though. You'll still see all 6 books, but the first one is not for sale. And I don't want it to be for sale because, again, it's not edited. There's words in there that's misspelled, so no.
Awesome.
But Amazon.com.
We'll put the link, the Amazon link with the interview so that people can access the books. And if somebody's watching this interview and they would like to connect with you, you mentioned Facebook. Is there another way for people to connect with you?
Yes. Oh, yes, Instagram. I'm on Instagram too. They can pull up my name, Khary Tolliver, and it'll come up.
Awesome. We'll put that link too with the interview. And thank you so much for making time out of your busy schedule for the interview. Is there anything else you would like to share that we have not been able to address in the interview?
I can't think of anything, but again, sometimes people keep feelings inside that sometimes they may not want to be able to talk to someone about. Write it on paper. That's how some people express their feelings. I do that as well myself. That's my outlet sometimes now. So I'm glad that my teacher instilled that in me to, write a poetry journal. You can write out your feelings. And so it's a good stress reliever. You got something to get off your chest, you can do that. So writing is fun, it keeps you smart, because sometimes I go to the dictionary to find alternate words. So it gets to looking in the dictionary or looking things up, the meaning of different words. So some of these big words that I'm using in my poetry, I'm just learning them myself, like just, again, alternate words. Instead of trying to keep it simple, I may try to, just spice it up, do something different sometimes, use a different word or whatever, I try to be different sometimes, but it's been a great journey, man. And I like writing, and there may be a book 7, I don't know.
Awesome.
Because every time I write a book, I always say, this is the last one, but this book, I'm not saying nothing, because I just get to writing and I just pile them up, and then I go, okay, I'm going to do another book. So this time I'm not saying nothing. There may be a book 7, I don't know, but I'm never going to say never. So,
and then just keep writing, just keep doing your thing. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Khary, and I will sure be keeping in touch with you.
Definitely, I appreciate it.
Awesome.